I'd now like to ask Brother Tom Grady, our Director of Campus Ministry, to deliver the invocation. Brother Tom.
Loving God, we stand before you in joy and gratitude for these graduates of our St. Francis College community. Bless them always with your knowledge and abiding love. Let your Holy Spirit guide them along their life's path, helping them to grow in faith and knowledge as they continue to seek truth and to place their talents and education at the service of the common good. Bless their families and teachers who have brought them to this special accomplishment in their lives. In the spirit of St. Francis, we pray that they and all of us gathered here with them be instruments of your peace. Amen.
Please be seated. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to St. Francis College. Welcome to our friends, our families, our alumni, and most of all, this class of 2010. Welcome. Each of you has a unique story, which certainly includes a support system of family, friends, and loved ones who have helped you get to this point. So they also ought to be applauded, and let's give them a round of applause as well. But before I go too much further, let me just take a moment out of this very happy and celebratory occasion to talk about something sad, and that is the passing of Brother George Larkin. Working in our admissions department for 38 years, not only did Brother George personally recruit and assist many of the students here today, but he did that for 38 years. For more years than we can even remember, he was the one who lined everyone up at the commencement and wished everyone well as they departed St. Francis to pursue the next steps in their journey of life. It was one of Brother George's favorite responsibilities. It made him so proud to see the graduates who grew up and matured under his watchful eye and guidance. Brother George loved to be the first person who you met at St. Francis and the last one to say goodbye. Now we're the ones that are to say goodbye. This is our first commencement in 35 years without him. So I'd ask that you please join me in a moment of silence in remembering Brother George. Thank you. So while Brother George is no longer with us, his spirit certainly lives on here. From the other brothers, to our faculty, to our staff, and the entire administration, we are all focused on one thing, and that is working to prepare you for a brighter future and a productive future. Because of the success of our graduates, people are really taking notice of our institution. For the second straight year, St. Francis was ranked among the top baccalaureate colleges in the North by U.S. News and World Report, and Forbes.com has followed suit by again including the college on its list of the best American colleges. Our growing reputation, our improved facilities, and our attractive location here in Brooklyn Heights have helped us set records 2 years in a row for the largest freshman classes ever. And many of our graduates continue to make the transition to the workforce, graduate schools, and other endeavors with a high level of success. We're pleased to see that that pattern continues. So today is a happy day for all of us. It's a day where you, the class of 2010, can finally rest on your hard-earned laurels and know that you have great potential for success. I would encourage you to go out into the world and do great things based on the academic training you've received here and the Franciscan ideals that you have learned over the past years here at the college. If all you take with you tonight is a degree and an ambition to get to the top of your profession, great, congratulations and good luck. But to be very honest with you, we would be a little bit disappointed if that was it. You see, you're really called to something higher than that. You're called to service and leadership. It's important that you understand that you must give back to your community, to your family, to your neighborhood, to your church, your mosque, your synagogue, the city in which you live, the state in which you live, and finally, to your alma mater as well. You are called to go and make this world a better place. Service doesn't have to be showy or ostentatious, but it should be as fundamental to you as paying your taxes, voting in elections, spending time with your family, and worshiping your God. You're bound to this obligation of service by the very essence of being human and being Franciscan. The Franciscan message of peace and hospitality will continue to produce solid citizens by demonstrating faith and integrity, and that is your charge as you leave this institution. Be honest, be diligent, work hard, and success will surely follow. Now, as I said before, it took the efforts of many people to get to this point this evening. And no one is more important in that process than our esteemed faculty. That is why it has become tradition at our winter commencement that we ask a member of our faculty to address you for our commencement address. Our commencement speaker this evening joined St. Francis College in 1998 as an assistant professor of English. Now a full professor, Gregory Tague has been recognized time and again for his contributions to our students and to the community. He was awarded honorary membership in the college's Duns Scotus Honor Society and inducted into Phi Alpha Theta, a National History Honor Society. He often initiates and directs numerous events on campus, such as the English Majors Career Roundtable. He is also the founder and editor of the Association for the Study of Ethical Behavior in Literature's journal, and has edited and written numerous books, including his most recent works, Pain and Memory, Reflections on the Strength of the Human Spirit in Suffering, and Origins of English Dramatic Modernism, 1870 to 1914. It is my great pleasure to introduce to you Dr. Gregory Tague. Gregory?
Thank you, President Dugan. And I'd like to acknowledge Dean Houlihan, Chairman Tully, Dean Howell, faculty, administrators, parents, students. Thank you for inviting me to your party. Tonight, I would like to tell you a story, the story of a college graduate. Late Friday night, Park Avenue office building. A bottle of whiskey in a desk drawer. The desk belongs to Maura, a new associate in a major New York City law firm, a white shoe law firm, prestigious and old-fashioned. There Maura sits, weary and alone, with a bottle of whiskey in her drawer. Not much older than you, Maura graduated college, followed immediately by law school. She's enthusiastic, but after only a few months, the pressures are such that in her office she keeps a bottle, a congratulation gift that has become a temptation calling to her on late nights. Maura, from blue-collar origins, is working in a strange world of Harvard graduates and patricians. In addition to the pressures of work, the piles of paper on her desk, the phone messages to be returned, the meetings and court dates to honor, she bears the burden of proving herself in a way more than the young men. I heard all of this from Chris, who was employed at this firm simultaneous to Maura. Chris was a recent college graduate and wanted to teach American history, especially the Civil War, since he loved Lincoln and Whitman. But because New York City had just averted bankruptcy, the year is 1977, he had to settle for working in an office, had to suspend his dream of being a teacher. Chris worked in the mailroom of the law firm and had lots of contact with the lawyers. One day, as he was delivering the mail, Maura opened the drawer when he placed the mail on the edge of her desk. He spotted the bottle. She saw him spot the bottle. They looked at each other, and each wanted to laugh, but neither laughed. "It's not what you think," said Maura. "I know," said Chris, "just for an emergency, right?" Maura looked at him and said, "The soul of a new machine." Her mind hovered over that word soul, like a butterfly over water. That expression, soul of a new machine, carried weight in the firm, since at the dawn of the computer explosion, this firm had, as one of its largest clients, a major computer manufacturer. Maura knew that she was hired to work exclusively for this client, to help maximize profits from securities laws, to help skirt environmental obstacles, to help avoid labor problems or tax loads. After only 2 months on the job, Maura was wondering if she had made the right choice to go into corporate law. The pay and benefits were great, but there was that bottle tempting her. What was the nature of the temptation? Did corporation work bother her conscience? Was she bothered by the fact that as a young single adult, she had more money than she needed? She wondered if she had not become some kind of machine or a hard little peg in a giant corporate clockworks. If so, had she lost her soul? No machine has a soul. There is only the spirit of the machine maker. Who has made this machine she finds herself in, and what kind of soul has the maker? What is the condition of her spirit as she sits aloft Park Avenue in this busy office? Like Dr. Faustus, had she sold her soul to the devil? She does corporate work, as in corpus, as in body, and does that mean loss of soul? In this moment of serious reflection, she interrogated herself. How had she gotten to this point? Had her mind propelled her to this moment of existence, or were physical circumstances such that she had no control over her situation, no control over the machine-like aspects of her life. In fact, she had gotten through college and law school like a rigidly working machine. Only now, with the prospect of a lifetime of employment before her, is she concerned about the condition of her soul. By quick association, ideas from college began to awaken in her. There was a book taught a philosophy of the act by the Russian philosopher Mikhail Bakhtin. He stressed the individual's responsibility for her own actions, how one should not make excuses or alibis. She always thought it odd that Bakhtin used that word, alibi, but how true it is. We do something and then pretend we were not there, that we did not do it. Someone else did it. Someone else is responsible, not I. If she succumbed to the temptation of the bottle, would it be her fault? After all, someone else had given it to her. Aristotle said how the nature of someone good and noble would rise out of difficult circumstances, that the virtues are modes of choice or involve choice. What was the nature of her soul? She knew she could be a good machine. But what else? What did Maura really know about the most vital and intimate parts of her mind and spirit? She was terrified that as a machine, she would not be able to make the right choices, not for herself and not for others. But she will have to act. And one principle her college education taught her is that in any key act, there is a moral risk for self and for others. In this big world now, she'd have to make decisions that would reflect directly on the quality of her as a person, her inner nature. Getting the degree and job were just the beginning, the machine parts. Now, she is yet a question, only a possibility. Where would she let such possibilities lead her? Previously, the choices were simple, and there was always someone there, mom, dad, administrators, or professors, to bail her out if she made a mistake. People had accepted her alibis and excuses. What now? Up to this point, she has been a good machine. But could she be a noble soul? Maura had never realized until now how positively influential her college professors had become to her. Not like stony Greek or Roman statues of the past she'd admired and studied, but like evolving models of archetypal behavior, a mold into which she could fit herself. How would any one of them act now? She remembered the novelist Henry James and some criticism on him by the philosopher Martha Nussbaum, who said the books she read were fractions of real people, real lives and real dilemmas, making real choices. There was a sense of value, of what matters and what does not, of life's ethical relations and moral connections to others. Decisions Maura had made previously were easy. Which courses to take, what to do on weekends, which friends to be with. But now she found herself making decisions for other people, and a chilling sense of fright came over her. Which would she let predominate, soul or machine? That was the temptation, to fall into machine routine, to permit a numb consciousness to replace a dynamic conscience. Everything came down to a key question about Maura's essential nature, her identity as a person, a twist on a quote from Jose Ortega y Gasset, remembered from her Spanish class. At what point is circumstance self? Would Maura let the circumstantial machine consume her? Would she drink from that bottle? Would she become cynical? Or would she draw from some other source, hitherto untested and uncharted, to be her best self, to be a fighting and noble spirit? Maura never opened the bottle. She went on to have a sterling career, untarnished in any way, led an exemplary professional life, was active in her community and in her children's school, and consistently worked pro bono publico for those in need. In truth, she chose to be a noble spirit and not just a good machine. In fact, her moral decisions about the direction of her own life had a lasting impact on Chris, who went to law school, became a prosecutor, and worked tirelessly to make history and not just read it. The 17th century English poet John Milton said, "The end of learning is to repair the ruins of our first parents." Of course, Milton is speaking of Adam and Eve, but parents could be taken figuratively to mean everyone who has brought you to this key turning point. While mistakes by such predecessors might tempt you, that is no excuse for you to fail. The past mistake of someone else does not provide an alibi for you not to be alive and active in the present tense of your own life. The burden on you now is to go beyond everything you have learned. The test for you now is to excel on your own without any hand-holding. The challenge for you now is to leave this building to make the world a better place, not just for yourself, but for others. Thank you for listening.
At this time, I would like to introduce Folks R.A., the string quartet that you were listening to earlier, for an interlude. to the Vaxarish String Quartet for providing that beautiful music. For the first time during our winter commencement ceremony, we've decided to have a student address our graduates. Lila Vaseva, sorry. Lila came to St. Francis from Bulgaria, a country which we are proud to say has sent us some of our best current and past students. She has a double major in political science and economics with a concentration in finance, and has been actively involved in a number of clubs since she's been here. Lila was president of the Eastern European Club, a member of the Economic Society, the Finance Club, and the Model UN. Lila also has spent 2 rewarding years as an intern at National Grid in their Insurance and Risk Management Division. All of this, and she's accomplished or achieved a 3.99 grade point average out of 4. Her willingness to jump feet first into various extracurricular activities has enriched not only her experience here, but that of everyone she has touched. It is my great pleasure to introduce Lila Vaseva for our commencement address.
Members of the Board of Trustees, President Dugan, honored guests, members of the faculty and administration, fellow graduates, family and friends, good evening. Today we have come together to celebrate a turning point in the lives of the remarkable group of people standing before me. We have learned, laughed, loved, gotten into trouble, and most of all matured together. But the moment to venture on our own and truly pursue our passions has finally come. With a greater confidence, knowledge, and awareness of the world, we are about to cross the final step of the St. Francis Bridge. But before we make that final step, let me share with you a little story about my journey that brought me to that bridge. I was born and raised in a small country in the Balkans called Bulgaria. I was in my final year of high school, just about to start studying for the university entrance exams, when I realized that if I applied for the political science program that everyone was recommending me, I had to spend the next 4 years of my life going through the same exact streets and seeing the same old faces as I did in high school. The reason being the 2 institutions were just a couple of blocks away from each other. At that moment, I felt like I was trapped. I felt like I had no alternative but to continue my old, colorless journey. In my head, though, I had a dream of finding a place where new things happen every day, where people smile at each other, where people are hungry for knowledge and are passionately committed to respecting each other's differences. And one day, my 2 cousins, who I'm really happy are here with me tonight, told me about a college called St. Francis, also known as the Small College of Big Dreams. I looked it up online, and though I was really unimpressed by its website, everyone who was applying around 5 years ago knows that it was pretty terrible back then. I was impressed that the college cared about people's dreams. I did not hesitate. I left the comforts of my home for the unknown and the city where people say dreams are made. In thinking about what I wanted to say to you today, I asked several of my friends who are back there what was truly special about their experience in St. Francis, and there were many answers, but it seems that all of us truly appreciated the small class setting in which courses were taught. In St. Francis, we rarely had more than 25 students in a classroom. And it was that intimate class size which allowed us to come together as a group and gave us a sense that our dreams are nurtured, not neglected by busy professors. This became especially apparent during thesis writing, where the connection between the students and the professor is so crucial. I've been waiting for this moment for a really long time. Let me see by your applauses who here wrote a thesis. Who here wrote a thesis? Come on. A lot of hard work, a lot of our blood went into that thesis. Congratulations for its completion. Another amazing thing about our college is how incredibly easy it is to approach a professor. Only Dr. Senek knows how many times I have been in her office on individual meetings while writing my political science thesis. St. Francis faculty has helped us feel at home, and most significantly, they made our dreams seem important. On behalf of all the graduates, I want to thank St. Francis' dedicated faculty for all the support and nurturing. We are truly grateful. I also wanted to thank a couple of people in particular, all of whom played a vital role along my St. Francis journey. Dr. Senek, thank you with all my heart for opening my eyes for the world around me. Thank you for your dedicated work with the UN Club and for guiding us through the difficult process of thesis writing. Thank you. Professor Quick, attending your classes has been an incredible pleasure. The passion with which you teach has always been contagious. Thank you for translating the sometimes hard to understand language of economics into a language that all of us can easily comprehend and enjoy. Thank you. I also wanted to thank Dr. Dilliard and Dr. Gomori, who I believe are not here with us, but just very briefly, thank you for both of them for always going beyond their teaching duties and for being ready to hear their students' problems and providing them with advice during difficult times. I also want to thank Thomas LaQuercia, he's somewhere in the public, and to Brendan Cahalan. They are two alumni of St. Francis that have been like teachers to me. Thank you. And finally, what everyone most enjoys about the college, the fact that it is a true melting pot. All the graduates tonight know that in St. Francis, diversity and team play rule the game. They were present in the classes we took, the study groups we formed, as well as the clubs and the debates we started. From sunny Trinidad and Jamaica, to icy Finland and Russia, to the faraway lands of India, Albania, and Romania, St. Francis has provided us with an incredible mini United Nations experience that will stay with us long after we leave that building. Fellow graduates, it has been a pleasure walking with you along the St. Francis Bridge. Though some of you, including me, might be a bit afraid to make that final step, let me assure you that the education and the friendships we have formed here in the college are precious gifts that we will keep forever. As the ancient proverb tells us, we are more than the sum of our knowledge. We are the products of our imagination. So imagine your future. It's dazzling. Because above all else, here in St. Francis, we have learned how to learn. In this very moment, one dream that was born years ago has come true. This is the first big step towards many new and victorious journeys. After years of effort and long nights and seemingly endless final exams, we are actually finally graduating. As we say in Bulgaria, Čestito и на добър път. Congratulations, goodbye, and wish you all exciting new bridges to cross.
That was wonderful. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Well, thank you very much. You make us all proud, and what can I say? This is what keeps us going. This is unbelievable, and thank you. And now we get to the moment we've all been waiting for, some for many, many years, others for a few years. I'd like to introduce the Vice President for Academic Affairs, Tim Houlihan, Dr. Tim Houlihan, who will introduce and present the members of the class of 2010, and our Chairman, John Tully, and I will confer the degrees. So without further ado, let's get on with the show. Dr. Tim Houlihan.
So is there anyone who'd like to graduate? Okay, come up here. Do you need a hand? Okay. Ready? Our first Associate of Arts, Jeannie Monti. And Associate of Applied Science, Felix Ortiz. Now the candidates for Bachelor of Arts. First up, Jessica Abdallah, summa cum laude. Christina Adrienne. Marina Alves. Jacqueline Atkins. Brian Barvels, magna cum laude. Stephanie Borometti. Yindrik Halupka, cum laude. Martina Ziraki. Elizabeth Doherty. Jimmy Dumansella. Robert Arisman. Michelle Erlinger. Christy Fischetti, magna cum laude. Brian Bennett Flynn. Lino Guerra. Natalie Lamberto, summa cum laude. Chadwick Melton. Matthew Pavone, summa cum laude. Joanna Perazzo. Lisa Picone. Claudia Ricciardi, summa cum laude. Brittany D. Smith. Kara Sokolovsky. Sharon Vera. Congratulations. I got you. Karina Steed. How do you say this? Lila Vaseva, summa cum laude. The first Bachelor of Science, Salvador Alaimo. Elizabeth Benson Weiss. Good name. Stephen Borg, magna cum laude. Rose Marie Bruccoleri. Albert Bowie. Kareem Byam, cum laude. Enrique Antonio Caceres. Tony Ann Campuzano, cum laude. I'm ready. Parvej Chowdhury. Mr. Coyle. Greg Coyle. I can do it. I can do it. Stephen Kukaris. Michael Desposito. Sean DeSince. Viviana Di Gregorio. Dyerwachter. Catherine Dyerwachter. I can do it. Fatima Dizarevich. Marilyn Graham Diaz, cum laude. Natalie Eileen Griffith. Gary Garari. Jean-Baptiste Joseph. Kreshnik Kukaj. Antoinette La Femina. Danielle Langford. Christine Marie Loriello. Receiving both a Bachelor of Arts and a Bachelor of Science, Na Lee, summa cum laude. Marcos Antonio Mora. How do you say this? Edward O'Malley. Joseph Pandolfo. Aaron Phelan. Proano? Renzo Proano. Maria Pinzon. You found your card. You found your card. Kurt Reese. Sean Reed. Michael Raytano. Ready? Jennifer Rizzuto. Do my best. Maria Lourdes Rojas. Valerie Romeo. Giacomina Ruggiero. Marco Similia. Sina? Andy Sina. Xavier Torres. Joseph Vasquez. Michael Walpin. Ariella Weinstein. Deanna Williams. And finally, Latoya Williams. Congratulations to you all. Stand up, guys.